Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. My name again is Jeffrey Davis. Last week we had a guest on, Shep Davidson of Burns & Levinson, business litigator, where we introduced him to our audience for the first time. And today we're having Shep back because he's going to talk to us about some of the things that he's been working on at Burns & Levinson. We'll just say welcome back, Shep.
Thanks, Jeff. Nice to be here again.
And what are we going to talk about today? Do you remember the topic?
Non-compete agreements.
Non-competes. Okay. And you've come out against the governor's proposal to eliminate non-competes. Yeah. This is a topic that has been an issue for me in my firm since the day we opened the firm in 1983-84. It's been an issue for me with my clients, helping my clients through things. This has not been a firm ground to be working on, and it's very difficult for entrepreneurs to be dealing with. Do you want to fill us in a little bit about this?
Sure. Well, I think the governor's proposal, his heart may be in the right place, but I don't think it's a good proposal. I don't think it makes sense for two reasons. First of all, and a lot of people don't realize this, it's retroactive. So if there's an agreement that's in place now that's enforceable, the governor's proposal would wipe that out. I don't think that's fair as a fundamental policy. But I think the bigger issue is really, are non-comps good or bad? And I think a lot of people don't really understand what it takes to make a non-compete enforceable. An agreement that's purely to stifle competition by having somebody not be able to work for your competitor is not enforceable. Okay? There are three requirements that you have to have. First of all, the non-compete's only going to be enforceable if the company needs it in order to protect its confidential information, its goodwill, or its trade secrets. If the company is not trying to protect those through the non-compete, it's not going to be enforceable. In addition to that, the employee has to agree to it, has to be given some consideration, has to be given something of value in exchange for that. And lastly, it has to be reasonable in its geographic scope and its duration of time. So if those three conditions aren't met, it's not going to be enforceable. I had a client one time, and I went to meet with him, had a very nice non-compete. His key salesperson was going to the competitor. Right. It all looked great. And so we started talking about, okay, I see the agreement. It's all set up properly. What are you trying to protect? Well, we're trying to protect our customer list. I said, okay, well, that can be a component of a company's goodwill. And
you pay a lot to build a company list.
Right. And so I then asked the client, I said, well, how did you develop the company list? He said, well, we just go to the yellow pages and we find companies that might want our products, and that's how we develop it. So at that point, I stood up and I said, don't waste your money on me because you don't have any goodwill in that customer list. It's out there in the yellow pages all the time. This non-competition agreement is merely going to stifle competition. You're not protecting confidential information, goodwill, or trade secrets, so don't waste your money on me. It's not going to be enforceable. Again, I think there's a misperception that these things are unfair and strictly to prevent people from going to competitors, and that's just not the way it is.